How are you guys doing? Today is Monday, March 8th, 2021, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review the Elite performances and matchups from last night or from yesterday, Sunday, March 7th. And of course, I'm going to preview everything that goes on today as we navigate through the world of sports one day at a time. Starting with the NBA because the MLB is in spring training, so I'm not covering that yet. And then the NFL is not in season, and the NBA was currently they were currently in Atlanta for the 2021 NBA All-Star Game last night, and in a great performance from both squads. Team LeBron would come out on top, winning or beating Team Durant 170-150. Team LeBron would win the first quarter and would win the first game for charity. That one they would win at 40-39. They also won the second quarter 60-41. They won the third quarter 46-45, and Durant would outscore them in the fourth quarter 25-24. And for Team Durant on the night, everybody got a chance to play except for Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis was injured the entire time, and Kevin Durant himself, because Kevin Durant was injured. Starting from their bench guard Mike Conley, who made his first ever All-Star game in his career, would finish with 3 points, 1 assist, 2 steals, and he also had a steal in 12 minutes as he shot 1 for 6 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3 on the night. And I know he's glad that he got a chance to play. Playing 13 minutes would be their first time All-Star forward off the bench, Julius Randle, who finished with 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists in 13 minutes as he shot 2 for 2 from the field on the night. Their center off the bench, making it for a second time in his career, Nikola Vukovic, would finish with 5 points, 7 rebounds, and assists, and a steal in 13 minutes, as Vucevic shot 2 for 6 from the field and 1 for 5 from 3. Their guard off the bench, Zach LaVine, would finish with 13 points as he finished with 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals in his first ever All-Star game appearance as he shot 5 for 10 from the field in 28 minutes, 2 for 6 from 3, and 1 for 2 from 3. Their starting goated forward, Kawhi Leonard, would finish with 8 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists, as well as 1 steal in 20 minutes, as he shot 3 for 8 from the field and 2 for 7 from 3. Their starting forward, for their first time starting forward, Zion Williamson, would finish with 10 points in 14 minutes as he shot 5 for 9 from the field on the night. Their elite shooting guard coming off the bench, Donovan Mitchell, would finish with 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, as well as a steal in 28 minutes as he shot 6 for 12 from the field, 3 for 9 from 3 on the night. They have 4 players that scored at least 20 points. Off the bench, their elite shooting guard, James Harden, would finish with 21 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal in 32 minutes, as Harden shot 7 for 14 from the field and 7 for 13 from 3, as he led Team Durant in bench points. Their starting forward out of Duke, making it for the second time, Jason Tatum, would finish with 21 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 steals in 17 minutes, as he shot 9 for 16 from the field and 3 for 9 from 3. Their elite starting shooting guard, Kyrie Irving, out of Duke, would finish with 24 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists, and 2 steals in 32 minutes, as he shot 10 for 15 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3, and 2 for 3 from the line. And the leading scorer for Team Durant is the NBA's current leading scorer, as their elite starting shooting guard, Bradley Beal, would finish with 26 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists in 31 minutes as he shot 10 for 16 from the field and 6 for 12 from 3. Now looking at how it fared for Team LeBron, playing 18 minutes after winning the skills competition, their forward off the bench, Domantas Sabonis, would finish with 2 points, a rebound, and an assist in 18 minutes as he shot 1 for 2 from the field. Their starting small forward, the captain of the team, their goated forward, LeBron James, would finish with 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists, as well as a block in 13 minutes as he shot 2 for 7 from the field and 0 for 3 on the night. Their their guard off the bench, Chris Paul, would finish with 6 points, 8 rebounds, 16 assists, and 3 steals as he ended up breaking the NBA All-Star game record for assists, and this would be his 11th All-Star game in his career. So he put up 6 points, 8 rebounds, 16 assists, and 3 steals in 31 minutes. As Chris Paul shot 3 for 6 from the field and 0 for 3 on the night. Their elite starting center Nikola Jokic would finish with 6 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block in 19 minutes. As Jokic shot 3 for 4 from the field on the night. Their elite starting guard from Dallas, Luka Doncic, at his second All-Star game would finish with 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 8 assists, as well as 2 turnovers in 32 minutes as he shot 3 for 7 from the field and 2 for 6 from 3. Their elite starting center, who's coming off the bench this time, Rudy Gobert, would finish with 10 points and 7 rebounds, as well as an assist in 13 minutes as he shot 5 for 6 from the field on the night. Their forward off the bench, Paul George, would finish with 17 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal in 26 minutes as George shot 6 for 8 from the field and 5 for 7 from 3. Their guard off the bench, making it to the All-Star game for the first time, Jaylen Brown, would finish with 22 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, and 2 steals in 26 minutes. As Brown shot 8 for 12 from the field, 5 for 7 from 3, and 1 for 3 from the three-point line. Their goated starting shooting guard, Stephen Curry, would finish with 28 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in 22 minutes. As Curry shot 10 for 19 from the field, 8 for 16 from 3, and this was just right after he won the three-point competition. So Steph Curry had an amazing night for himself. And then their guard off the bench, Damian Lillard, would finish with 32 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist in 21 minutes. As Dame Time shot 11 for 20 from the field, 8 for 16 for 3, just as much as Steph did, and he made both of his free throw attempts on the night. And the leading scorer for Team LeBron and this year's Kobe Bryant All-Star Game MVP would go to Giannis Antetokounmpo, the elite starting forward for the Milwaukee Bucks, who has won the last 2 NBA regular season MVPs. In 19 minutes, he would finish with 35 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and a block in 19 minutes as he shot a perfect 16 for 16 from the field. And, of course, a perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line. No free throws made. So, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo, after not missing a shot, would be named an NBA All-Star Game MVP for, I believe, the first time in his career. So that's everything that's going on with the NBA. The next games for basketball won't take place until Wednesday, March 10th, as the Grizzlies host the Wizards that night and the Mavericks host the Spurs. But, of course, I will mention that as we inch closer to that day. Jumping out to college basketball, just to check out what was going on with Sunday's schedule. Unranked Michigan State hosted second-ranked Michigan, and the Spartans would pull off the upset of the season probably as they beat second-ranked Michigan 70-64 behind Rocket Watts' 21 points. With this win, unranked Michigan State is 15-11 as they are 9-11 in the Big Ten. With this loss, second-ranked Michigan is 19-3 as they are 14-3 in the Big Ten. Third-ranked Baylor hosted 18th-ranked Texas Tech, and in this matchup, the Baylor Bears would beat Texas Tech 88-73 after outscoring them by 13 points in the second half. Makio Teague would lead the team in scoring. Sorry if I butchered your name. He finished with 35 points on the night, and with this win, third-ranked Baylor is now 21-1, and with Michigan's loss, they might pass them in the rankings. And with this loss, 18th-ranked Texas Tech is now 17-9. As they are 9-8 in the Big 12. Also, 5th-ranked Iowa hosted 25th-ranked Wisconsin, and in this matchup, the Hawkeyes would beat the Badgers 77-73 after outscoring them by 9 in the first half. The Iowa Hawkeyes were led by their starting center and their all-time leading scorer, Luka Garza, who finished with 21 points and 16 rebounds. So with this win, 5th-ranked Iowa is 20-7 as they are 14-6 in the Big Ten, and with this loss, 25th-ranked Wisconsin is 16-11 as they are now 10-10 in the Big Ten. 9th-ranked Houston hosted unranked Memphis, and Houston was able to pull off the 67-64 win behind DeJon Jarreau's 19 points and 8 rebounds. With this win, 9th-ranked Houston is 21-3 as they are 14-3 in the American Conference, and with this loss, unranked Memphis is 15-7 as they are 11-4 in the American Conference. Also, unranked TCU hosted 5th-ranked Texas, and in this game, the Longhorns would beat the Horned Frogs 76-56 76-64, following Courtney Ramey's 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assist outing. With this win, 15th ranked Texas is now 17-7 as they are 11-6 in the Big 12, and with this loss, unranked TCU is 12-13 as they are 5-11 in the Big 12. Last but not least, 20th ranked Loyola Chicago hosted unranked Drake for the MVC final, and Loyola Chicago would end up winning that tournament, in which secures a spot for them in the March Madness bracket. They were led by their center, Cameron Krutwig, who finished with 20 points and 8 rebounds. With this win, 20th ranked Loyola Chicago is 24-4 as they are 16-2 in the MVC, and with this loss, unranked Drake is they're 25-4 as they are 15-3 in the MVC moving forward. Looking forward to what's going on today. The West Coast Conference tournament semifinal will be at 9 o'clock on ESPN as first-ranked Gonzaga hosts unranked St. Mary's. That's the only ranked basketball game that's scheduled for today, as the regular season is over, as we are starting to transition into tournament matchups. And then checking out what's going on with hockey, because, of course, we're staying on the ice. And just to give you a little bit of context, like I do every time, every hockey team has to play the teams within their own division in order to limit traveling during this quarantine. So starting with the East Coast, or starting in the East Division, the New York Islanders hosted the Buffalo Sabres and were able to pull off a 5-2 win. Their center, Nelson, would finish with 2 goals on the night, and with their 15th win of the season, the New York Islanders are now currently sitting at the top of the East Division as they lead the second-place Washington Capitals by 2 points in the table, as they have won their last 5 games. That streak is most definitely the best in the East Division. Jumping out to Boston, the Boston Bruins hosted the New Jersey Devils, and the New Jersey Devils would score the only goal of the game in the third period to pick up their 8th win of the season. With this win, the New Jersey Devils now have 8 of them on the season, and they are now sitting 7th in the East Division as they trail the first-place New York Islanders by 16 points in the table, with 4 less games played than the Islanders. Jumping out to Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Flyers host the Washington Capitals, and the Capitals would come into Philadelphia and pull off the 3-1 win after trailing by 1 after the first period. After picking up their 14th win of the season, the Washington Capitals are now sitting second in the East Division as they trail the first place New York Islanders by 2 points in the table, with 1 less game played than the Islanders this season. And then jumping out to the last game of that division, the Pittsburgh Penguins hosted the New York Rangers, and the Penguins were able to pull off a 5-1 win after scoring 3 goals in the first period and then 2 in the third. And with their 14th win of the season, the Pittsburgh Penguins are tied for the 3rd best record in the East Division, as they and the Boston Bruins sit 5 games behind the first place New York Islanders. But the Penguins have also played 2 more games than the Bruins, who have the same score. So they're sitting 4th in that division. Checking out what's going on in the Central, the Chicago Blackhawks hosted the Tampa Bay Lightning, the team that's currently dominating that division. The Lightning were able to pull off a 6-3 win after going down 2-0 after the first period. Gord, their center, would finish with 2 goals and 2 assists. And with this, the Lightning will pick up their 17th win of the season. With this win, they are now sitting on top of the Central Division by 1 point over the second-place Carolina Hurricanes at the moment, and they've played 1 less game. Speaking of the Hurricanes hosted and were able to defeat the Florida Panthers 4-2 after scoring 2 of their goals in the third period. With their 17th win of the season, the Carolina Hurricanes are sitting second in the Central Division, 1 point behind the Tampa Bay Lightning, even though they played 1 more game than the Lightning. And the Hurricanes now own they have the best streak in that division. They're tied with the Islanders with a 5-game winning streak. That is the 2nd best winning streak in all of hockey so far this season. So, of course, that's a big win for the Hurricanes. And then jumping out to Dallas, the Dallas Stars hosted the Nashville Predators, and after a shootout win, the Predators pull off their 11th win of the season, and with this win, they are now currently sitting 6th in the Central Division as they trail the first place Tampa Bay Lightning by 14 total points in the table, and the Predators have played 2 more games than the Lightning, so that gives the Lightning even more leeway with that, or at least between these 2 teams. And jumping out to the only Canadian game of the night in Calgary, the Flames hosted the Ottawa Senators, and after the Senators would win 4-3 in the shootout, they picked up their 9th win of the season. And with this, they are still sitting at the very bottom of the North Division. They are currently sitting with the seventh best record, of course. There are only 7 teams in that division, as they trail the first place Toronto Maple Leafs by 19 total points in the table, and the Senators have played one more game than the Maple Leafs so far this season. That is what hockey is looking like at the very moment. Looking forward to what's going to be on primetime today. At 9 o'clock, the Edmonton Oilers will host the Ottawa Senators on ESPN+. At the same time, the Colorado Avalanche will host the Phoenix Coyotes on ESPN+. And those are the big games to look forward to as we navigate through hockey. And last but not least, checking out what's going on in the world of soccer because, of course, there were a good amount of matches going on, especially within the Premier League. Starting in the Premier League, the Manchester Derby was yesterday as Manchester United faced off against Manchester City at Manchester City, and Manchester United was able to give Manchester City their first loss of the 2021 calendar year. Their first goal of the game will come in the second minute from their elite center attacking mid from Portugal, Bruno Fernandes, and then with Shaw's goal in the 50th minute, Manchester United had the 2 goals necessary to get the 3 points in the table. Looking at what the Premier League looks like right now, Manchester City is still sitting at the very top as they sit 11 points ahead of second place Manchester United, as Manchester United was able to thin the gap ever so slightly. But Manchester City has only lost 1 game this year, so it's going to be tough for Manchester United to fully catch them. Then also, Liverpool hosted Fulham, and Fulham was able to beat Liverpool 1-0. And with this 1-0 defeat, Liverpool now drops to 8th in the Premier League as they now drop to 3 points under West Ham, even though they've played 2 less games than West Ham. But Liverpool not in the best situation. It's still mathematically possible for them to jump into Champions League contention, possibly with the next couple of games, but it will take a great effort from them. And one of the teams that they have to overtake for Europa League contention is Tottenham, and Tottenham was able to pull off a 4-1 home win versus Crystal Palace. Their first 2 goals will come from their former Welsh striker or former Welsh attacker, Gareth Bale, as he scored in the 25th and 49th minute. And then after Ben Key's goal to end the first half, because it was tied 1-1, I think Bale would start the second half with his second goal, so it was 2-1. And then Harry Kane, the elite English striker for Tottenham, would score in the 52nd or 76th minute, and that would pull off the 4-1 win. The 3-goal deficit would give them the 3 points they need in the table. And looking at where they stand in the Premier League, they are currently tied with Everton for the 5th best standing in points, even though they played 1 less game than Everton at the moment. And they also currently sit 2 points ahead of 7th place West Ham United, and Tottenham has played 2 less games than them, so this gives them a very solid chance to jump up higher, as 4th place in the Premier League is only 2 points away from them, to give a sense of where Tottenham stands. And then jumping out to La Liga, Atletico Madrid hosted Real Madrid for the Madrid Derby, and after Luis Suarez's 15th minute goal and Karim Benzema's 88th minute goal, this game would end up as a tie or as a draw, which most definitely is making Barcelona fans very giddy, very excited. With this draw, Atletico Madrid still sits at the very top of La Liga, as they sit 3 points ahead of Barcelona, even though Madrid still has played 1 less game this season. And then with this draw, on the other side of this, Real Madrid now sits 2 points below Barcelona, as they were both tied coming into this game, or I guess coming into their 26th match they played. And with this loss, or right now with this drop, Real Madrid still sits 5 points behind Atletico Madrid, and now Barcelona is inching closer and closer. And this is a team that was in the bottom half of La Liga at one point this season. So that's what's going on with soccer yesterday. Looking forward to what to look forward to today. In the Premier League, Chelsea will host Everton at 1 o'clock. Looking in the Premier League, Chelsea is currently sitting in the 4th spot, but it's very close between those 2 teams, as Chelsea sits 1 spot ahead of Everton. Everton has played 1 less game and has 1 less point in the table. A win for Chelsea wouldn't necessarily move them into 3rd. It would keep them pretty comfortably at 4th, actually. Everton, it could possibly a win would jump them into 4th place in the Premier League. So this is going to be a very big game for both sides. In Italian Serie A, Inter Milan will host Atalanta, and this will actually be for the Serie A. And Inter Milan is sitting at the very top of the table, so this is going to be a very big game for them. They sit 3 points ahead of AC Milan with one less game played, so a win here can create 6 points of space between them and AC Milan moving into the next week. So this is a must-win for Inter at the moment, and that's everything that's really going on with sports as of today. Once again, today is Monday, March 8th, 2021 out here in this quarantine. I want to thank everyone for listening to all 19 minutes of this piece. I hope all is well, and I will come back to you tomorrow on Tuesday, March 9th, 2021, once all of today's exhibitions have been finished. Thanks once again for listening to my piece, and peace out. I will catch you tomorrow.